Okay, we're live. We're live.
It says we're live.
It says we're live. And I've been told that when it says you're live, but, you know, maybe we're not live. I don't know.
Okay, I think we're on.
We're on.
All right, send us a chat if you see us, but I think we're going
we're on.
to proceed as if we're on.
I think we're on, guys. We're in Treviso, Italy.
And the live from the Via Stucky Hotel.
It's a good name.
We're Stucky here together.
We're Stucky. Tight quarters.
So okay, we've got some people watching. I'm gonna keep this on to do the chats. Okay, Valeria says she sees us.
Hey, Valeria.
Hello, Truly. Hello, whoever's out there.
All you beautiful people. Can I go ahead and tell them the technical thing to get it out of the way?
Sure.
We've never done this before, and it's probably going to be real choppy. It's not going to be smooth playback. First time. Apologies. We'll get better. This is the first one. And but it should still be interesting. It may be more like the experience of watching a series of frame grabs that slowly progress through a scene whilst we speak on the matter and share anecdotes from our journey.
Right. And we had to bring down the resolution so that we could get it to you. We hope that by the next time we do this, we might have it a little bit better. But yeah, this is, I still think, a really good exercise and something pretty cool for especially those people that have been excited about the project, the people that were there, people that will probably watch this in the future. And yeah, all those supporters. And on that, I would like to first, before we even get started, just to thank a few people. First of all, I've got to thank the people in my inner circle that have been so supportive and helpful, from our clients to our friends and family. We've been obviously funding this ourselves, and just, funding for this is like, in the beginning, scarce as hen's teeth, and every little bit we get has been incredibly helpful. So I want to give a shout out to a few people. First of all, Truly Strickland and Katie Hudson for doing all the little stuff behind the scenes, helping us make those amazing t-shirts, these incredible books here. I think everyone in the production was really impressed with our travel log here that had every little detail on it. Which was really helpful when we had all these calamities touching down, and everything from luggage lost, having to reschedule cars, and having everything organized, and everybody that helped us kind of keep our sanity. Really appreciate that. But also there were some people that gave some monetary contributions as well. First of all, Fred L. Curry, who owns my building, and gave me a free month's rent, and let me tell you, that was huge. Paul and Kevin Irwin, our neighbors. Carissa Thomas, also my neighbor. Katie Hudson, Janet Sharp, Jessica Sanders, Rami Nuruddini, the Alabama Humanities Alliance, who of course gave us a grant that helped us in the very beginning of this, and the Sloss Furnace Foundation has always been supportive, and without them we wouldn't be getting or even eligible for these grants. And of course the Biennale Arte Fabrile Stia, who put us up and gave us the greatest hospitality that one could imagine. And I knew they would, because they're just those kind of people. So thank you, Valeria, Francesca, just everybody from the mayor to the foundation. Everybody's been pretty helpful. We're still not sure about that police officer that may be giving us a fine or not, but
I think he's all right. I think he was just doing his job, and we weren't.
We had every kind of problem.
Doing ours properly.
Almost every kind of problem you could have in this, but one person said that maybe it's a sign that you should quit going, but I love what another person, Luca, said to me. He says, no, it's the opposite. The gods are telling you you should not leave Stia, because we're making it very hard on you. You should just stay.
One thing, let's check the chat and see if there's anybody griping about anything on the technical front. Can you hear us, or is this just a mime job?
Vocals coming through. I feel like
we're just doing it on the cheap here with the laptop speakers and stuff. But I know there's a huge delay.
Jay Burleson says we're all good.
Hey, Jay! How you doing, baby? All right, great. Well, let's just jump in. Like I said, this is going to be a little choppy because I think my computer's doing these two programs and it doesn't seem to like doing that. I'm just gonna kind of play this clip here. Like we're just looking at raw footage. I'm just playing stuff. This is yesterday, just the drone shot of the award ceremony in Stia at the end of the event. This is like, this thing is huge for Stia. This is their biannual big event, so it's like a big part of their economy.
They spent an entire year just planning and getting through it, and it's amazing. I think the town probably only has somewhere around 3,000 people, and hundreds of volunteers, and pretty much everyone is just a volunteer. So the way that they open up their community to host this is just really incredible. And as you'll probably see, I don't know if we'll play the clip, but in one point, I feel like it's more than a competition and a conference. It's definitely a family. And for people that go back time and time again, you really do feel like family. So it's definitely a place that I feel at home, and I'll probably go to this every 2 years for the rest of my life if things go well.
Yeah, and for me, it was a huge cultural experience. I've never been to Italy, actually, but to add on the blacksmith culture, which is extremely unique and international, which this event proves, it was just kind of like fantastically overwhelming.
Yeah.
Let's go back to our timeline here, and just see, kind of, any of you filmmakers out there, you know how this goes. You got this. This is like a string out, but it's not chronological. It's just, there's just random footage everywhere. So I'm just clicking around in here.
Okay.
Let's see what this is. Here we go.
This is Maria. I met her at my favorite gelateria in the world.
I'm going to turn it down because I think that might mess us up, right?
Sometimes we can hear sound, I'm sure.
Let's see if I
Yeah, I like that. We'll just move it as we go. So yeah, this is Calagogo. This is, up until last night, shockingly, Chris had never had gelato. I can't believe we almost left there without.
Hey, there's Quinn. That's Quinn.
There's Quinn. Yeah.
This is like I said, choppy playback. But this is from the last night, the finale night, before the parties started.
Yeah.
Actually, the party was going.
Yeah, hopefully this settles down here. But this is us in the forge stands. Sorry, it's a little choppy right now. But a lot of people don't realize the energy that this stuff has. It's there are people from all over the region watching it, sitting in the stands. This is me and one of the volunteers, and also a friend, Eliza Trappini. Oh, there's Claudio.
I'm just scooting through here.
Scooting through Roberto. We're seeing some. We just saw two blacksmith legends there. He's gonna find a place, hopefully, and we can.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. While I scoot, I'm gonna
play
because
that if you could.
Because the scooting is annoying with us on the screen. So what I'm gonna do is this. I think it's easier maybe for them.
And we can play some of the sounds, hopefully.
Let's see.
There we go. Somewhere in
just clicking around.
Where we had it was pretty nice.
So yeah, for filmmakers out there, this is a lot different. Oh, here's your little reflections. You want to do that for a second?
Sure,
we're not gonna be able to hear it though.
Well, turn it
We'll
up
see.
on,
We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe.
Let's see here. So it might be, when you're watching dailies, usually the playback is smooth. So this is not really the dailies experience, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Just play it.
Here we go. There we go. And then this. See if it plays. I got it. Let's see. I don't know if it's playing or not. It says it's playing. Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to be like this, guys.
Hopefully it won't all be this way. I think when it catches up on some of these. But you can see here, this is us leaving a conference by Dell Delwith, is that how you? I'm sorry, I don't.
Delith.
Okay.
I think.
Either way, obviously one of the biggest personalities in the blacksmith community, and she's just amazing. One of my favorite people in the world. Runs the Hereford program in England, a great blacksmith school. And after I left there, we did some reflections just so that before I left, we could get some of the thoughts down. That's me and Fabrizio. Perhaps we could watch this.
Since we can't hear, I'm kind of thinking we should go to like maybe the slow-mo stuff, and just because it's more visual since they can't hear it.
Okay.
But this is Fabrizio. Tell about him.
Yeah, so
he's amazing.
This is one of the best blacksmiths, I think, in Italy as far as the younger generation. He's from the north of Italy and just creates unbelievable, very plastic forms. And I've been able to see him evolve over the time. He's been competing for several tournaments, and I've seen in the last several, they've just gotten, for my taste, better and better, and he's sort of developing a style that's recognizable. Like any artist, I think you look back at the beginning of their work and it's not as distinguishable, and I think the beauty of this process and the beauty of this tournament is that you see these already amazing talents, but they come here and you get to see them grow and get better and better. In his case, he's won several times now. He's been in the top 3.
I'm gonna go get some different part of the. I'm gonna get to the slow-mo stuff.
Ciao,
just
Gwendolina.
It's more a little interesting visually, just because we don't really have sound, I don't think. And the choppy playback, if we had sound, would probably be not so good. Let's see.
So we're gonna try to. There may be some footage that works smoother than others, but we'll just.
Yeah, we really just don't know. We're kind of like, like everything's running. You can tell. I mean, my machine is running terribly.
At the very least, we'll be able to recap and show you some still images that give you an idea of the character of the place and the feel. And when we come back and do this again, we'll have it set up a little bit better so that we can have maybe 2 computers with more processing power.
There we go. So this is going to be from Friday and Saturday in the daytime. It's working on opening this up here.
While it opens it up, I guess for those of you that aren't sure really of the format of the show and what it is, because I know some of you are just acquainted with the program since this week. And basically the idea is that I'm on a journey to learn from the best blacksmith artist in the world. And in order to do that, I have to go out on this journey. But what we do, it's not like the Anthony Bourdain type of show, even though it may look like that in a few of these clips. We're not really just following me around as I just basically, you see the whole thing through my eyes. There will be elements of that where we're able to get some perspective, and you see me also growing and developing as a craftsman. But we're going to go and do portraits on many of these artists, and you'll get to go into their studios, see their narratives, their story. There won't be any Erick in some of these sections, and you'll really be able to get intimate into their lives and their motivations, why they do this work, and get to see them in their own environment. Then later, we'll sort of join forces, and I'll learn from them. Maybe we, like I did with Jeffrey Funk, make a hammer together, and you'll get those interactions. And I think it's really nice because we have this dynamic of both, sort of an intimate portrait as well as seeing a conduit. I'd rather call myself something like a conduit than a host, because it's a little misleading to say host.
Let me see if I can.
Do you think this has anything to do with the internet, or is it?
No. This is processing.
Just processing.
This is like
Okay.
It's running 2 softwares at the same time, and it's just I don't know what I'm doing, so it's not optimized.
Sorry that you all are the guinea pigs.
Yes, you guys are definitely the guinea pigs in this situation. I hope you like frame grabs, but we'll see here how this might play, if at all. This is all like this was Friday night. Yeah, it just doesn't really want to play. I mean, yeah, this was Friday. Yeah, that's way delayed. This was Friday night. At the forges, all these teams are here round the clock almost. I mean, I think they shut the forge down at midnight.
Yeah.
I wanted to show. I want to show you a shot, but when it's playing back like this, I can't really show you a shot because it's like.
Well, I wonder.
We can't really see it.
Is there anything we can do to just do screen grabs, perhaps? But is it going to hold up? I mean, maybe we can. It would be.
It's like bogged down.
Well,
sorry guys. We're trying. You see the concept we're going for here.
Right.
Like, I mean, let this kind of. You see what we're going for here, but. I think the best way to do this is for us to have two machines, like one that's the streaming.
Well, I guess
software.
also before we should go any further, I should have mentioned right off the top that in Italy, this was no longer just the Chris and Erick project. We had a team that was unbelievable. So some of this footage you see is not only shot by Chris. His stuff is always beautiful, but we also had two members of our newly formed Team Europe, which is Duccio and Emilio. Duccio Servi and Emilio Palavaccio. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, brother. Palavacino. But anyway, two amazingly talented Italian artists, and Emilio does the camera work, and Duccio with the sound, as they say, fonico here in Italia. And it really brought our production up to another level. Chris was able to really focus. This is actually me here working on my sculpture.
Yeah.
Chris is making some adjustments that maybe help us here. But Emilio really just captured some amazing footage, and Duccio made the sound come out perfectly. They're always on the spot. And not only amazing professionals, but really, really great people and fun people to be around. So
yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, I would say that was
highlight of the trip.
One of the highlights of the trip was.
There's a lot of highlights.
Yeah, but Team Europe was definitely where it's at, and in addition to all the people like Valeria Graffi that did so much for us there on the staff. But we had a great time. This is also,
man. Yeah, it just cannot seem to handle the footage. I'm gonna try something though. We're gonna try something a little different here.
All right, try something.
All right, we're gonna try something a little different for all you filmmakers out there. I'm in DaVinci Resolve. Apparently, it's just not not working. So I'm gonna go. We shot on Sony FX cameras, so I'm gonna go into Catalyst Browse. And I'm just going to go through folder, just right to the folders, and see if Catalyst Browse may behave a little better in terms of playback engine.
Hello, Mom.
The fun of filmmaking.
Heard you were out there.
DaVinci Resolve has already crashed. Crash. See you later, buddy. I love DaVinci Resolve, but it's not cutting it right now. All right, there you are. Gonna open up this cat daddy because this is made to watch Sony footage, so maybe it's a little less process intensive. But yeah, Emilio and Duccio, love you guys, and it was just great having a pro team, also Italian, so very great for, at least for me, for the language barrier,
right.
And then having a talent like that you can rely on when you're just spread too thin. You're at an event and you've got so much to cover in such little time, and we were able to split up and divide and conquer, and it really made a huge difference. I think there's some stuff you and Emilio got Saturday night that couldn't have happened if he wasn't there. There's no way that would have been captured.
Really hoping we get to see some of that footage. It was absolutely amazing.
We should be able to. I'm gonna try it this way, guys.
So,
Thanks for sticking with us here.
Just stick around a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what the chat's saying. They might be like throwing bananas at us or something. I don't know, but.
And hopefully, Gwendolina, if you're still out there, hopefully we get the footage of our dinner. It was great. We had our host in our sort of B&B took care of us, and we got to hang out and have a little lunch as friends, and yeah, met some just beautiful. We of course I've got friends from being there over the years, but I met every time you meet more, and That's one of the great things about returning to this community and conferences like this. While he's putting this up and trying a different means, yeah, feel free to send us something in the chat. Let us know you're out there.
All right, Catalyst Browse is starting to show signs of life, but it's lying to me currently because I know for sure there are many things in this folder.
There's definitely a delay.
Yeah, for sure. To be expected, a delay. That's normal.
Michael Prater says, screen grabs with good storytelling is all you need.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that, Bear. All right, so this is a little bit more assistant editor land here, but I'm just gonna let's see. We got see if I can find. Let's go to
Roll Tide, Jay.
Roll Tide. All right, here we go. Here's this might have our breakfast time, maybe.
We were able to watch the highlights of the Alabama football game last night, and that was nice. Still to be determined with that talent level. Who knows?
All right. Well, I gotta tell you, this isn't running much better than Resolve was. I just think this OBS program I'm using to do the stream is like, my computer does not like it.
Take the O out.
Yeah. All right, so we got some clips here.
At the very least, this is practice for our future podcast or something, right?
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna be like that. All right. Yeah, this is more of the.
Drone shots.
No, this is the. Well, this is the. Yeah, this is yesterday at the awards ceremony. Not looking promising here. The way it's like giving me the beach ball.
And since I know that you will be celebrating afterwards, I may take this opportunity to say goodbye to you. Thanks everyone.
Pause. Play. Yeah, it doesn't like it. Ooh, buddy.
All right.
No, that's partly because of. Let me get these right.
Thank you for being patient. I mean, really patient.
Yeah.
Greg Taylor says, fun project.
Thanks, man. I wish I got to see you when I was in LA. We missed each other by a lamb's tail. Wow.
Well, you can see here they were giving awards. I think you see on the edge of the stage two of the winners. This was the group winners, first and second. Or was it? Yeah, I think so. So basically, at the end of this, just to give you a little bit of idea of what happens at these tournaments, you have 3 hours to make a sculpture. There are individual sculptures and there are group team sculptures, and they oftentimes are a group that comes from a particular country, but sometimes they're also international. And so you compete as a single participant, and you can have a helper. In my case, my helper was more of a collaborator than a helper. It was one of those where, for whatever reason, I was in the mood to really like collaborate, and he's just mainly because he's such a good smith, and I think we worked so well together. So I worked with Quinn McKay, and we made our piece as technically a single. But most of what you see here, this is the single group. And we have Israeli Smith that won first place, and the there is being held. The one on the stage is by Ukrainian Smith, I believe, won third place, maybe second. Yeah. Okay, and there's the other one mounted in the zone. It would have probably in retrospect been better for us to just get a bunch of screen grabs and talk about it, but we just
Well, the ambition is to show raw footage, so
Yeah.
we're shooting for the stars here, but
right.
and it'll happen. I think I just got to learn more about live streaming stuff. Let's see if I can. This is a little different because it's not organized. It's like file names and stuff, so it's a little
Right.
harder to pinpoint anything.
But we will definitely improve the process and hopefully do this again for all the people that bother to jump on. If you have any questions, well, we may still figure out something that works a little better. Send us a message in the group chat and we can, talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Anything about the show or the tournament, this particular episode, but also just anything about the series in general.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back into Resolve and just see. I don't know, maybe if we, because I tested this last week before we came, and it seemed to work pretty good. Might just be the sheer volume of footage that we're dealing with. It's just I can tell my machine is kind of doing weirdness. All right, open that up. Yeah, I mean, I think part of these documentary projects, part of why I wanted to do this is I don't know if I've seen anything like this where documentaries in development have like shared the Dailies experience. Now, this is not the Dailies experience because, like I said earlier, we'd be watching it in real time smoothly, and you have to be able to feel the footage, these moments, you know. So, but I think for me, from an editor standpoint, it's like I really need to see all the footage. I need to sit there and just be with it and watch it over and over again and just sometimes listen to it and just kind of feel it. And I'm a slow editor because of that. And Dailies is one of my most favorite things to do in filmmaking is watching raw footage that you shot. So I just thought it'd be cool to share the experience. And I'm going to work this out to where it works. It's going to work one day, just not today. We're going to try Resolve again, see how this goes. But getting to see Erick at Stia like this is his 4th year. So it was cool seeing him in that context and realizing how important this is for you, just as a person, like this event, this community of people, really special, unique community. I mean, we had 2 champions in our suite with us at the Airbnb where we were at the villa that we were staying. The Japanese team, they won some stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's me half naked.
Yep, there's some half naked in this documentary. I mean, this is a journey show. So, I'm filming him packing in his underwear. I'm filming him putting his shoes on and going to the airports and, just every little bit and piece that we can get of traveling around and all the hectic stuff. Plus, Erick is also on his iPhone doing, little video vlog type things, which I'm curious to see how that can be incorporated. Just the authenticity and intimacy you get out of those moments with somebody with just their iPhone talking about something that is fresh, that just happened. I'm just going to see, let it sit here for a second. I'm just going to push play and just see what happens here. See, that's frames per second. It's supposed to be 24.
That's a little bit lower.
That's about 10 times lower. Yeah, it's just not digging it, man.
So I guess a little bit more about you got any special experiences that really stood out for you?
Well, I feel like the food, the pasta, that sticks out immediately to me, that pasta we had at that place. But I think also just that full screen. We'll just let it be there and see what happens. The footage is going to do what it does. I'm just going to let it go, and we'll see if we'll just talk.
Yeah.
So I think I think just all the different kinds of people and different kinds of teams and different interpretations of the theme. The theme was connection, so seeing those different ways of interpreting that theme. Also, to me, reuniting with people like Alessandro and Matt Garton, that was really special. Because I mean, Matt, gosh, that was in your very early days as a blacksmith, and we were hanging out, and that was good to reconnect with him. And meeting Quinn, and you and Quinn preparing for your competition piece in Birmingham, and meeting Quinn, I was real impressed with him as a person. And then to be able to hang out with him in that context, and then know that Matt Garton is his teacher, and he's learned from him. There's a lineage there. Right. I think all that kind of stuff is really interesting. I think lineage is interesting. Yeah. Like that sort of master-student relationship stuff, but also the journeyman stuff. One thing that stood out to me was the guy that came up to us in the park. Tell that story. That was interesting. Yeah,
this guy, I made a kind of a goofy comment about the guy's get up, and when he walked by, I said, "Good job on the attire," and he's dandied up with some like corduroy vest and pants and custom tailored and matching, and a little top hat. And there are a lot of eccentric people in these tournaments. A couple of people with top hats. One of them was on a tall bicycle, and of course there's guys like Damiano, who you'll see in this, who's on our screen grab playing the accordion, one of my favorite people that I've met in Stia. But yeah, so I just took him as an eccentric guy wearing clothes, old school clothes. And it turns out he was in a guild that I had never heard of, that's based, I believe, in France now, but has maybe some basis in Germany, I think. And he is forbidden to take money for anything other than the work he does in his craft. And it's an old guild that basically it's an ascetic journey. It's a journey of asceticism. He pretty much sleeps in the park. He sleeps in the public, and just travels around, only getting by through working as a smith, and basically it's a journeyman sort of process where he's learning and traveling around.
There's Quinn.
All right, there's Quinn. Now Quinn comes from the building. What's the call? It's a building college in South Carolina.
Building.
No, that's just a.
Oh no, it's the what's it called?
Association.
American Building Arts.
That sounds about right. Whatever, it's a college in South Carolina that's really incredible. It's producing just some of the best talent right now. You see him talking to, I believe that's Alex, who's one of the most talented smiths in the world right now at his particular point of development. I think they both just graduated. So those two guys right there are two really stellar craftsmen and artists, and expect great things out of both of them. I didn't get to spend much time with Alex, but of course I've got Quinn now working in the shop with me. He just moved to Birmingham. Just a funny thing, things go full circle. We mentioned Matt Garton. Now, Matt Garton's originally from the Hereford School. He was one of Dell's students, and now I met him the first month I picked up a hammer, and he had a huge impact on me. In fact, he was the one that told me about Stia, and I made up in my mind then that I would be at Stia at this conference the next time it came around, which was kind of ridiculous because I had no training. And
there's Matt. Oh, this is funny. Okay. So when they start the thing, they ring a bell to start your forge. You got 3 hours, and they ring a bell, and you have to start. And then they ring a bell when you're done. So they ring the bell, and here's Matt Garton, and he's like hooting. He's going, woo! he's a fun one.
Yeah. Tons of energy.
So he was just like, he was like football hooting.
Yeah.
When they ring the bell, so that they're starting, they're going, they're about to go for the next 3 hours, just hammering away. And there's something about it, I think one thing that stood out for me thinking about it from that perspective is, getting to film with you and Quinn in Birmingham practicing for your piece, and then being on the ground in Stia while you guys worked it out, knowing that you had changed everything about it, and you were just about improvising the thing at that point, and seeing you guys problem solve everything together, knowing that that clock is ticking, and you finish the piece. And to me, that's like, I mean, with a feature film, it's the same thing. It's like, if you made a movie, congratulations, you did something, even if it's a turd,
Yeah.
So like, and I think I liked your piece. I think it's a good piece.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of thing, filming that kind of thing, I really enjoy that as like a documentarian, being in those moments. There's like a real-time urgency there, and getting to follow the process of one piece from start to finish so diligently. There it is, the American College of Building Arts.
There it is.
The American College of the Building Arts. That's it, and that's Alex there, in all of his glory.
So, that way. And just to finish the quick story. So Matt actually came to Birmingham, and just long story. Maybe we'll explore it. We said it in the footage, but kind of got scammed and got down there and really didn't have the backing monetarily that he was supposed to have to come down. But he ended up making a huge impact on me. Did a hammer class, and so anyway, that sort of brought us. And then he moved to South Carolina, was working there with I think Robert Thomas Forge, and now he's running that program in Charleston. So it's really amazing how that all came full circle. Now one of his students is there in Birmingham and working with me a few days a week, and we went to Italy and forged together, which was pretty incredible. And for people who'd only known each other for a few weeks, it's pretty incredible that we were able to work so well together, and and so seamlessly that it was, again, not really me and him just as a striker, but us kind of trading off and just kind of going with the flow. It was pretty nice.
And I mean, the thing about Stia is it's this, you kind of got the idea from that drone footage. It's this quaint Italian town in the mountains there, and it's a small community, and they've got this square with, I don't know how many forges it was. It was like 8 or 9, 10 forges, maybe 12.
I think they had to add it to
expand. And they're all burning, and it's like, it smells like a campfire. Like, if you've ever been around a forge, I mean, those smells you get are just kind of awesome. And there's this smoke wafting over the whole place, and it's just ping, 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 ping. I mean, it's just, it's pretty loud. And the anvil you guys had was really loud.
Yeah,
your piece.
Yeah, that was pretty annoying.
And so there's just all these blacksmiths all over the place, smashing out their
hey, here we are.
Their childhood wounds on the anvil, man. Like, it's therapy, like there's Eric and Quinn about to do some tandem work on this draw. You're doing
hitting on the flatter.
And on the flat, flattening around.
So we are smoothing out one of our figures, just sort of getting it flat, maybe evening it out, the taper. And was this a slow-mo? No, this was regular speed. She's getting hung out.
No, this is slow-mo, I think.
Okay.
I think this is this is slow-mo.
Okay. And unfortunately, we did not get our shirts in time. Had some serious issues, and then they ended up being shipped to Italy, and those didn't come on time. So Quinn's just wearing the, not the cool one I had him made, but I think he might be wearing the Stia conference shirt, which is also very cool. I bought one for my uncle. He's probably not watching, so
yeah,
it's not spoiling a surprise here.
They're cool shirts, though.
Yeah, they are. Look at the angel there, the Iron Angels. I felt like it looked good for him. He's a Harley Davidson driver.
No,
so.
It's good. It's good.
So you see here, I'm not wearing the headband and the elbow support just to look cool. Right before the tournament, it was so hot in Alabama. For those of you who understand what I'm saying, it had gotten up to 110 degrees plus on the heat index, which for those of you in Europe, that's around like 42 to 46 degrees Celsius. It was insane. And so I was sweating. I've been sweating so bad that I got an eye infection from all of the sweat and coal dust pouring down in my eyes, just draining into my face. And of course now I have elbow problems, and sometimes the wristbands too, because I've got carpal tunnel. So the stuff is rough on the body, but it also is like exercise. One of the Stia t-shirts says, gym for blacksmiths, and it's an anvil, some tongs, and a hammer.
I'm just kind of clicking around. I don't know. I was trying to find some of Emilio's footage here. I think this might be
Hilarious says from 8 a.m. to midnight.
That's it. Thank you.
8 a.m. to midnight.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know.
That's how long the forges are going throughout the tournament. So, yeah, really just the energy is hard to describe. I wish we could kind of see it here and hear it, but you will be at some point. This is just a teaser. And also keep in mind, too, it's not just all the energy of the forges and the people watching, but right across the street, you've got Capricci Cafe. Hello, Fabrizio, and everybody there. It's, you know, a little hub for the community for, you know, everything from your Aperol Spritz to your coffee. He's out there. I call him the hardest working man in Stia. He's out there, you know, 6 in the morning opening the place, and then I watched him for 5 hours, just it's nonstop making paninis and hamburgers. Just, you know, the guy just, you know, was just like a machine out there. But anyway, but to see all the things going on, the gelato shops, the people, the townspeople, and the locals just kind of sitting around in the cafes, it's really a special environment. There's really nothing quite like it, and it's more than a tournament. It's, you know, it's a conference. You know, there are people giving presentations, and there's other contests as well, a drawing contest, and larger scale sculptures that are being displayed and unveiled. So a lot going on. What you see here is a piece of plate steel. That's okay. You saw a piece of plate steel. It was a couple of pieces of round stock. They were trying to put a vein in it and give it a little shape. I'll do some of this technical explanation for those of you that are not smiths. It might be interesting. I don't think I've met this group.
This was on, I believe this was Saturday afternoon.
Okay. And that's another thing too. Obviously, it's global, so there's that diversity. But you know, a lot of people think of blacksmiths as like, you know, burly guys with beards, but quite a few women out there as well. I learned that my first time. I showed up, and the first thing I saw was this team of French women, you know, just killing it out there. It's really nice to watch.
And I want to shout out once again to Emilio, because, I mean, I am sort of having a Dailies experience right now watching this, because I haven't had time to go through it, but this is all Emilio's stuff, and I'm really happy with what he did.
Nice.
It's really nice work. Kind of clicking through. I was going to see if I can find some... that thing? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, just it's very hard to go wrong. I mean, obviously, if you want, our team's quite talented, but the
subject matter.
The subject itself is just beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the morning before your well, no, this was Friday, I think. You guys talking.
Thursday.
Get ready. Thursday, I'm sorry. Thursday before.
Okay, there's Alvaro Lucci, I believe.
Oh, yeah, this was you guys were.
Yeah, and I'm talking with Proctor Taylor, who was an expat. He was raised in the United States, I think in the Midwest, but has been living in England for so long he now calls England his home. Traitor. He's basically Henry James. Interesting thing about him, he's great, amazing guy. He's just one of the nicest people I've met, and he was actually gave me my first start at Stia when I showed up. I knew no one but Matt Garton, and knew very little. Was full of energy, and back then, even strong. I guess I'm still a little bit strong, but back then I was young. I'll say that. And he let me strike for him. He didn't know me from a ham sandwich, and offered to let me be a striker. And I got to produce this beautiful Roman style mask, which is still in the museum now. So that was a lot of fun. Great experience. He's always been incredibly generous and welcoming. So Yeah, just a great community.
Just gonna see if I can. I do have one idea of something that might. If you don't mind, I can try one thing here. It might.
You said I don't mind. What's it gonna be? You're scaring me.
Well, I think if I don't want to get too in the weeds on technical stuff, but I think if I were to just do this and create some timelines that are smaller
Small
chunks.
timelines.
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest that.
And also of
But
the
what do I
same
know?
codec,
Okay.
because any bit can help, you know.
Send your questions in. Any comments? Let's see.
Yeah, this will be one here.
The delay is not as long as it used to be, so
That's interesting.
yeah.
So this is drone footage. I'm going to create a timeline for that. Call it drone 1. So this project is a mess for all you assistant editors out there. This is just it's a throwaway project just to be able to watch dailies. I always do that when I'm on shoots. I just create a project called Dailies, and then that's it, you know. Let's see here. We got some drone. Let's see if this behaves better. Yeah, it's behaving much better.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is going to give you some scope of. This is Stia. Here's Stia from the sky. Just a raw flight here.
Isn't that gorgeous? Wow.
So this is the morning. I think this was the morning we got there. I think this was day 1. I know it might have been. No, it was
Saturday. On the schedule we had Saturday morning, but
no. I didn't do Saturday. I didn't.
oh, you
shoot
did
drone.
Friday before.
Yeah,
you
I
had
did
the drone.
Friday.
You
Yeah.
did Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is the main street. The trees off to in the right corner.
Mhm.
That's the canopy over the park where the forge is that you just saw the footage from, are back behind those trees up against the buildings. But you know, this is just a way of kind of giving some scope to the story we're trying to tell. Here's another little look at. You can see the forges. They're kind of tucked in the trees down there.
Oh, and you can see Claudio's sculpture there in the center,
Yeah.
which is on the T-shirt. And don't worry, Valeria. We'll make sure we get Parks permission if we use this.
So yeah, this is just kind of giving you an idea of, you know, what kind of place that this story happens in. Scooch around. If any of you guys ever shoot drone footage, you know how drone footage can be. So I'm just gonna skip around on it. I think this is helping to do these small little chunk. These small little
Patrick
chunks.
asked, really cool to see this. How did the shoot go? So I guess just overall, how do you think it went?
I thought the shoot was great. I mean, I think the shoot was awesome. I think the troubles we had were more travel related. Just, you know, the baggage not making it, our flight there's huge storms over Germany, so they had to kick us off the flight, and then we went to Paris, and then our bags didn't make it, and then the parking machine ate your credit card, and then I blew up the power when we got to the flat. So it was just a bunch of problems with the traveling, but the shoot was awesome. I mean, because, and I can't say enough about Emilio and Duccio, you know, having a team, it just gives you peace of mind that you know you're covered, you know. And so I knew that I could stay with Erick and get his story, his journey from a subjective standpoint, and I could rely on Emilio and Duccio to cover the story from a more objective standpoint. And, you know, we were, I would say one of the problems with the shoot was the logistics of probably next time we shoot out of country, we're going to get burner phones so that we can communicate, and also have two-way radios that are compliant with local laws so that we can communicate, because we couldn't use our phones to communicate. So we were constantly missing each other and waiting on each other and trying to figure out where to go when and stuff. So it was a little bit of logistics things that were frustrating. But as far as the results, I think we're covered really well. We're going to be back in Stia in a few days, and we're going to be shooting a little bit more to cover. But yeah, I think the shoot went really well. So this is the main drag. Up there on the left, is the, I'm gonna kind of scoot ahead here if it'll let me, is up here on the left is the cafe where, do this something, oh well, I'll get to it later.
The car is driving funny.
So this, I think this is dusk. Yeah, this is the dusk shot.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so
Oh, my legs are going slow.
you get a good idea of you know how this town is shaped, and you know all these are kind of just little different angles, same kind of story here. Oh, this is the morning of the forge, the morning of his competition piece. So I decided to follow him with the drone to the cafe where he was going to have a pastry and prepare himself mentally. And you know, it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't, you know, like, but I think, you know, sometimes you only need a little bit of a shot. And I think I've got 3 options here. There's just little things that happen. It's like, well, I can maybe use this. But then there's like things that happen that you don't expect, and it's just like, well, okay, you can't really use it now, you know. Like, so then it's like, okay, I'm gonna cut ahead to some other part probably, and you know, I'm readjusting and everything. But I think it was a cool way to kind of give scope to what he's doing and where he is, and you know, you put early morning bird sounds. You know, I mean, every morning we would wake up to that rooster outside the window.
I slipped right through it.
I didn't sleep at all, by the way, during this whole time. I could not sleep. I never got off of the American schedule. Never did. The first night I slept was the night before last. I haven't slept since we left the U.S. I haven't slept until 2 nights ago.
Yeah, little cat naps. Cat naps, basically.
Yeah, I didn't really sleep on the plane either, but yeah.
Little bitty. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I just thought, well, I mean, if that had been me, I couldn't have functioned. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, he said he was on American. I wasn't even on the American schedule. He wasn't on schedule at all. That he couldn't sleep. I mean, it was crazy, and yet he was still sharp, and he did not seem like a person who had no rest. So I definitely got more appreciation for what the guy can do with his body. Cause
thank you, man. I thought you handled yourself fantastically as well, because it's not like you were sleeping like a baby.
No, and I usually do sleep like a baby, so we both had kind of a sleep issues. I'm not sure what's going on this time. But
one night, so Friday night, we're you know, we had our first day of, like, you know, shooting, and you know, we realized Saturday, this is it. We're all the way here in Italy. We're doing it. Like, we only got one shot. You know, we got to get it right. And I'm freaking out in my head about it, like, you know, what can I do to make this interesting? You know, how can we make this good? You know, what do we need to do? And I'm just like, basically in between my ears, laying in bed, and I can't close my eyes. I can close my eyes, but I can't sleep. My mind's racing. And this goes on for, you know, 4 hours. You know, those nights. But I'm solving problems. That's why I couldn't go to sleep. It wasn't like I was just torturing myself. I was actually solving problems in between my ears. I was like, okay, we'll get this shot. We'll do this. We'll do this. Well, then at some point, I guess it was probably 5 in the morning. I could tell, like, stars were getting a little bit that morning look to them. And I could tell it was getting close. And Eric gets up out of bed and checks his phone. And he came and laid back down. And I was like, is your mind racing like mine is? And he just laughed. And we both stayed up the rest of the night just talking in the morning.
Yeah,
we figured out our plan for the day and actually had a great day. And I think it helped a lot, you know. I think that was actually Thursday night. And then
Friday morning.
Friday.
Yeah, neither one of us really slept. I only got to sleep maybe a couple hours, but yeah, we didn't know the whole time the other person wasn't sleeping either. So, but yeah, I think we did figure out a lot of things in that. That was one of the best talks we've had about this production, and I think we were, kind of just teaming with ideas and ended up carrying most of it out.
I mean, you're always gonna miss something. Yeah. But I think we did a good job. Oh yeah, you want to talk about? This?
Oh yeah, so this is the sculpture in the middle of this. I believe this is Piazza Mazzini. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Truly says Cobalt sponsor on that last shot with me rolling that Cobalt bag.
Oh yeah, totally,
Yeah.
Truly. I thought the
Hey.
same thing. You're totally correct. And Truly, thank you for the production Bible, because that
Yeah.
kept my head on straight. Like, because of that, I didn't need sleep.
Now we're not in that anymore. I think.
What is it not? Is it?
I don't think we're on the screen.
Okay.
But anyway, hope you're hearing us. Thank you. I just can't see. You can see it. Anyway, so this over here is a fountain that's in the middle of this piazza, and it was sort of, to me, sort of. There we are. It's sort of the mascot of the tournament, or just the avatar of the city. It just feels to me, it's got a majestic look about it. And one of the things that Kate can definitely attest to is no matter what picture you look at, they all look different. If you just move a foot over to the right or left, it changes its look entirely. So it's incredibly hard to do the t-shirt again, the image that we don't really evoked it, because it's just it's very dynamic and also amorphous. You can't really see it too on this resolution here. The lighting got a series of curved plates that have these enormous rivets. And it just has I don't know. Sometimes we thought about it would be cool to just show the tournament in some ways through its perspective, different hours and different settings. Watch it alone, watch it with children, forging behind it at night when no one's there, with an AC/DC cover band rocking in front of it. It was pretty cool. And so I thought it was a really the people in the town really loved the shirt as well. But yeah, you can kind of get a feel for the environment there. What else you got?
Oh, let's see. I was trying to get to the closer stuff. Yeah.
You can see it there.
Yeah.
There are moments of it that looks like even a bug. Sometimes it has sort of a organic floral look, like a orchid. It's just got different, depending on the position you look at it from.
One of the discussions that we had that morning was that I kind of was like, I kind of think this sculpture is kind of like the monolith in 2001, and
Yes,
it has this like not alien, almost alien presence, but not really alien. It's more like this thing is controlling the town. It's like it's just got power over the town. It's like they must forge, And this is a powerful thing that's like influences town so much.
I like also the way the curvature on one end, like a portal. Well, you look at a certain angle, it just seems like a portal into this dimension of Hephaestus, Vulcan, and Heraclitus. Hegel, you see the dialectic. It's there in the Ouroboros. It's all Hegel.
And the other timeline from another little chunk of things.
Oh boy, we're losing watchers. I brought up Hegel. I knew it.
I mean, we have been on for an hour, so they're probably like, all right, we get the idea. You don't know what you're doing, but you're trying. That's good.
Hello, Paul. We got Paul.
Oh, it's Paul Hart. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
We got Kenda.
Hey, that's my sister.
And
what's
we
up?
got Patrick.
Hey.
Patrick wants to see some badass forging footage.
Okay, badass forging footage. All right, let me see if this will cooperate. I can do that. There we go. All right, let me see here. I'm gonna go to Tuesday, Friday. I'm gonna see if I can get some more of Emilio's slow-mo stuff. Because I think that was pretty good, badass forging footage. It's just hard for me to identify it readily. Here's some of our little thumbnails. It can be turn this metadata off, turn audio off. Some of this might help us here actually. If I do that. Scooting through here, Patrick, looking to see What do we get here? Anything, you know, you can talk about any of this you see if you're inspired to. Like,
Yeah, a lot of.
I mean, there's conferences, you know, like you go to any community, just go to the events, that these conference seminar almost like,
Get that night footage.
that's what I was like, yeah, that's what I was
The night footage is especially beautiful just because of all the contrast and just the energy from the crowd in the evening. It's usually now I forward in the morning just because I think strategically it's best for me. I can relax after if I usually go first off the first slot. It's a little quieter in stands.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Wait, is that night?
But you don't have quite the performance, you know,
Okay, here we go.
as far as the crowd.
I'm just gonna kind of make it
There we go.
some of this.
Yeah. Saw a lot of it there.
Yeah.
All right, some of our this is some really good footage, I think. So we
Yeah.
should have some nice stuff in here.
I don't know. Let's see how this.
It really says the audio has been cutting out when you play back the footage. Okay, well,
Oh, really?
well I won't talk as much during the footage then. We'll just let them watch if it's playing well.
Interesting. Yeah, I have much to learn about live stream. All right, here goes. Actually, I'm just gonna turn this off. There we go. All right, so nighttime foraging stuff. There's Matt. That's Matt right there.
Yeah, this is working.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about slow motion footage is like it takes a while to watch it, you know.
It really.
You know, it's like when you're shooting, you're like checking playback, and we actually had an issue that I didn't notice until after I'd recorded for an hour of these floor albums that my camera was having. This is, I'm pretty certain this is Emilio's X camera, which was not having a problem. Emilio's an Italian with an Apple ready camera, I guess, and so at 50 hertz. I know this is in the weeds, but anyway, it made a difference. So I was able to fix it on my camera, but it's one of those things where playback takes so long with slow motion, so you're kind of hesitant to do it too much.
Yeah.
But
Maybe agonizing actually when you watch, you're waiting for something to happen, but it's really beautiful when you it gives up talk right here.
Yeah.
You get some good judges. Dan, Quinn, Alex, and Matt from the Charleston School.
yeah,
And so a little bit of what they made. They made a beer opener.
yeah, I do have that.
So it's automatic. It has a hammer, and sort of a lever, and the hammer falls over and hits the lever, and it pulls. It basically knocks the beer cap off. Sends it to the sky. It's pretty cool. I know Matt actually did one with Erick School years ago. This was a completely different model, and I think connected much better to the theme. At first I thought, no, this doesn't really, but then I was like, no, we really connect by drinking beer together, so I think that did fit the theme.
And I do have a shot of it working that I can probably
Yeah.
do up at
So this looks to be, after they finish the piece here, this is a different theme. Show off.
Yeah, there's a sketch. You have to ski. You may have already explained that. I don't know. But the blacksmith must sketch their design onto a piece of paper, display it to the audience as they create the piece. Just because otherwise, you could just like, oh yeah, that's what
Yeah. So you made what you set out to make.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to see. The differences
It also
sometimes.
gives the audience something to look at and
Figure out.
what you're building to, and they get to see, oh, this is to make that. How would you get there, and they get to see that, knowing what the team has in mind. So far, no forging, just guys walking around.
But there's flames.
There are flames.
Flames and pure determination.
One thing that Duccio said about this time was, in a lot of these shots, if you're looking from behind the forge, it looks like chef's table that they're barbecuing. So the running joke was, especially a few of them, like, what he's making over there? What kind of sauce is he making? What's on that guy's barbecue pit?
Man.
Watching forging, I think, is more exciting than watching cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Eating is great, but watching cooking it's literally sometimes like watching waiting for it.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
You boil American food sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a joke.
it's a joke. I didn't really learn that one, but
That was a joke, everybody.
we're tired. That was a joke. All right, we see. There we go. Now we got it.
There's some sparks.
Here we are. Finally.
Man, we're gonna get deleted. We're gonna get canceled off YouTube, man. They're cool as this is.
So sexy.
This is
Yeah.
kink. This is
Now, what you see here, if you notice, it gets very thin. It's the same size. It's called a tenon. For those of you that aren't really into craft, And you can do it now. I'm assuming that's 10. Could be some other more, fortune, but it looks like he's doing is making it 10. You can then take that and drive it into a hole that you punched. And keep in mind, in these tournaments, there are no power tools. So if you need a hole in something, you have to punch it with a chisel. Well, it's called a punch. And then we have different types of punches, different shapes. And you can see here probably what's going on. Looks like a tendon. They're not easy to make. I was freehand like that. You can see the shoulders, and easily if you miss right, you can sort of beat the shoulders up. It doesn't look so plain.
This guy was very nice.
Yeah.
He was a very nice dude.
This is the one that had several wardrobe changes, if I recall.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was kind of like he was a dapper. He had a classy kind of like Colonel Mustard thing going on. Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good.
Yeah, he's very he's very intelligent. It seems he's multilingual. He's really funny
and refined,
very
but not pumped at all. Like
No,
he's a blacksmith, so
he's a very eccentric guy.
He's a nice
Yeah,
man.
I enjoyed my little time with him. Really pleasant and good smith. Incidentally, he also uses the French style hammer, which is the only style I use when I make tenon. So, you can see.
And one thing that's beautiful about this too is you've got there's all these people like it's like when you go to your kid's baseball game and there's the bleachers. Well, they've got a bunch of bleachers set up around the forts, and they're filled with people that are sitting there watching, drinking beer, eating a lot of whatever, sausages and everything, and just mesmerized with the work.
Valeria asked who that was, and she said Hereford. I don't know when you sent that question, but the guy with the glasses was Matthew Garton, the one we talked about quite a bit. The one here, is this the same guy? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was him.
Okay, I forget his name. I only got to hang out with him once, and there's so many names around the table. A lot of times, you have to go back and look people up to, remember the name.
Yeah.
I believe this is the guy that also wore the top hat and rode the bike, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is the same man.
Wearing cut off.
I'm pretty certain.
Yeah. What you're seeing here is that a punch? No, that is a slot punch, maybe. Yeah, maybe. So what they're doing there, and I'm going to say from Smiths, what I'm saying is pretty basic, but most people watching this now and maybe later if we keep it up won't be. So a slot punch is basically shaped like a chisel. You see, like almost like a blade, and it puts it doesn't. No, this is not what he's doing there. It looks like he's splitting it. Yeah, it looks like he's splitting it. But yes, you can either split it like they're doing, or you can use something like that to make a hole that's like that, and then you can put a drift through that, which will give it shape you need, like a round bar. So you can actually, something special about blacksmith work that's beautiful and also very functional and produces good joinery is you can take a 1/2 inch bar and put a 1/2 inch hole in and still keep the shoulders, which you could not do if you drilled, you would just don't have. And it just makes for a beautiful looking work as well. Again, you didn't hear earlier, things connect, so we knew we were going to see a lot of beautiful joinery. Technically, I knew the beautiful thing about this theme was connections has both a aspect of a direct technical sort of denotation, which would be joinery, whether it be rivets, wedges, forge welds, just all the different ways that one can connect. And obviously the metaphor about connections as Smiths, as a community, there's so many ways that this thing's articulated. One of my favorites.
That's Alex doing his thing.
Yeah, that's Alex's work. See, there you go. Ball being on one side and it's flat on the other. Now we'll get into a lot of the tedious details in the show. We may do some of that little by little bit. Something like this would be a good time to kind of explain what's going on to the non-stuff. What he's doing there, I'm not certain, but it's late in time, but I think what he's doing is I was going to say I think he's creating a scarlet, and it looks like that's exactly what it was. He was creating basically a bulging in a bar that would then connect with another bulge in another bar, and they would sort of allow it would a place for the basically not have flat bars. They can slide off each other. But also, I'm going to need extra mass there because when you forge welds, you're out flat and you're going to make thinner, so they need extra mass so that when end up the same thickness you have on the other bars are that are not, that you're forging with. And those that don't know forge welds, what you might imagine, it's literally welding two bars together using nothing, no machinery. Some people use a flux, which decreases the oxidation of the sides above, allows the bond to be created a little bit easier. It's funny, the British people, British Smiths in particular, Martin, who trained these guys, even though they're from South Carolina, he trained them their way, which is very rare they use flux. Americans use it a lot, and in some ways it is a placebo. I agree with you. You don't need it. You just heat and pressure. But there are some ways that the flux, which you might use something common like borax, and you sprinkle a little borax in it. And the thing I like that, though, sometimes the frames sort of stick together, and when you pull it out and you just mash it together, it's sort of stuck together because the borax sort of makes a little lined. Again, you can do that also with borax, so it's more about heat. But keep in mind when you do that, the thing that makes that so impressive is not that you have to do the things obviously quite difficult to put it together, but it's managing the heat so it's burn up. Once the heat, it gets over 2,000 degrees, the cards aren't burning out, and you end up with a really ugly metal, and it loses its properties, and then you really can't complete the weld. Or it looks really ugly. So it looks like what they're going to do is create a disc, and because you can't use power tools in this, no one gets to use a machine cutter, to make that shape. They're actually having to take this handheld square chisel on a handle, and do this is when you have a team. You have one person focus on line where it needs to be, another person that can really send it with a sledgehammer. Usually I work alone, so I have to do this myself, trying to hold the chisel and the hammer and do it all at once while trying to make sure it's straight. It's a lot difficult. So it's good having the striker or the team. You're limited to it by yourself. It takes a lot more time.
And I think we probably should get
Yeah.
close to wrapping up here.
All right, I got one question for Patrick, so let me ask.
Oh, you got Patrick?
All right, so Patrick asked an amazing question. It's a good one to end on.
Okay.
Eric, how did you feel about the pieces you did? Chris and Eric, did you feel like you got the story you were going for, and what's next? Thank you for sending us off there with
Nice.
a beautiful softball for us to
Nice.
slam out of this park
All right.
and put this to its end.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so first part of the question, yes. I've been thinking about it a lot because it did feel differently this year. Keep in mind, the first 3 times I did this, I was moving out of amateur status into something a little more like a professional and a competent blacksmith. I feel like I'm getting there, but it's always a process. So the danger, the trepidation, the intimidation, all of that was pretty much gone in this one. I'm not one to really get nervous to begin with, but there's an anxiety that would happen before where you have self-doubt, and you have, it's just a little bit different. And then we got to a point where I knew we were going to be filming, and so I could not put all my energy into just showing up and making the best piece I could make. So what I wanted to do is sort of rein the ambition a little bit, make one that was a little bit easier to make, who knew would fish it. And I also had a really good collaborator that I wanted to work with, and so rather than just having someone, and it sort of worked out this way because he had practiced that figure style before. In fact, that was his contribution completely. My figures were not going to look exactly like that. One of them would be very similar. Those were figures that he had brought to the table. And so, being that he already had that experience, he had the tool we needed to make the right shape, I leaned on him a lot and let him do it. I gave him the control up because I had total confidence in him. So in that way, it was more collaboration. So one way that was I was able to let go a little bit, and as I get older, I'm a lot better collaborating. I don't have the ego tied up into it I once had. And I think I was really just wanting to make a clean piece that would be finished. That was the main thing. And also, the Quinn would be proud that he would enjoy it on. So I would say in that regard, that was 100% success. Now, I wanted it to be bigger. I think it would have been a lot more dynamic and competitive piece if it were one size larger. The problem is one size larger, which we did in Eric, and theirs is like 1.8 metric system. So that meant that we would have to force down a much bigger piece. And danger was we wouldn't if it was too much bigger. It was a lot of pieces to turn out 3 years, red shaped, and the 4 by 3 edges. And so, yeah, so we ended up making a piece again. I was moving about. I was happy with the finish, and I looked at the metaphor. The metaphor was beautiful. I thought simply done. I didn't try too much to put into it last like I've done in the past. So anyway, and I'm happy with the piece. I think I could have done a few things better to be explaining this. Some people a little bit okay because we're not an exhibit art right in town where people that may know nothing about art could have some more enjoyment if you explain it a little better. So I would have probably put a little notes on a sketch that I think could have allowed people to appreciate what the metaphor of wedges meant and why do I say ambiguity of wedge. Showing the constructive side of the wedge for craftsmen. It doesn't just separate, but it binds us together and connects. Little things like that I would do differently next time. And as far as my part of the shoot, story, as we'll know in the edit, we'll know when we see the footage if we got the story, so to speak. We're still working that out. But did we get the footage that would, I think, allow us for great storytelling? Absolutely. And the story of this journey is still ongoing. We still have 2 shops to visit on the strip, 2 of the greatest blacksmiths living right now. We're going to go see in the next few days. So the story's not quite done. And Chris put his magic on in the edit room. I haven't seen the dailies any more than you're seeing here.
Yeah, we're like,
so I'd say I am already this morning woke up in that nice buzz of the memory of what we shot, and I definitely see story, narrative possibilities emerging. And but we go into these things with an open mind, knowing that we have some ideas of what we want the story to be. The story is what happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel confident we have plenty of story here. It's just how we tell it, how we weight things. And I think we've done our due diligence as far as like having enough to work with to craft it several different ways, and get something that is compelling. I think the main driving vehicle, the way I looked at it the shoot this weekend was that we just have to remember that this is a 21st century blacksmith's journey. So Eric we were talking today at lunch that we don't like the word host, and so we're kind of going now with the word conduit. He's like a conduit to the viewer, not only about blacksmith, but also about life, like philosophy and culture. And so that was what anchored my mind as far as like priorities to capture the characters and culture and journey of Eric as a blacksmith and as a human being. And I think we did, plenty enough to give us a lot of options on how we did that story, for the episode. And this, we don't even know what episode footage is going to be. It might be some of it in episode 1, and some of it might be in episode 3 or something. But yeah, I feel good about. I know we've got a great story to craft. It's just going to take time to go through the footage and put it together. Yeah. But I guess we should probably call it here because it's getting late and it obviously is a choppy friend grab world that we're in. But we appreciate you guys giving us a shot here. Promise we do the next time we do this live stream thing. We're not gonna do it unless we feel confident we can get you some smooth playback. So we'll figure that out. But at least get an idea of what we're up to here in Italy, and we're gonna be back in the States. Friday, Saturday, kind of. So. Anything, and thanks for everybody coming out and encouraging us.
Good night, Larry. I'm still on. I'd like to say everybody back home that's been our support group, and just keep the word out on this. We'll keep you posted, but stay with us, and I think we'll make good on this. So it'll be something that you'll be proud of.